leather gloves, we're slapping in hams, popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands, pink cotton candy, love on a stick, who's chasing the deer, that circle the lips, play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives. Live here at Strong Island Television Paradise Studios in beautiful
downtown
Massapequa, New York. Right by the Long Island Railroad. There's a CVS over there, pizzeria, Dunkin' Donuts. And again, if you're interested, the Chinese restaurant closed.
Yeah, we got to stop mentioning. How long ago did they close?
We'll do it for a year.
Okay.
A year.
Because you never know if one opens up again.
Could put another one in there.
As long as the woks are still there, they could get going.
You think the woks are still in there?
I don't know.
Isn't that the first thing they take, the woks?
It's ready to go, right?
Are you sure?
I got a great idea, John. Why don't we open up a Laughter Saves Lives Chinese takeout?
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would just like to yell at people. You know, just yell at people. We need 2 more egg rolls. Right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Chinese dish?
You ready?
Yes.
Chicken chow mein. I always get the combination.
Chicken chow mein for Rich Wonka. Is it ready?
Number one. It's a number one.
Yeah, but see, I'm not doing a Chinese accent because that's not nice. You know what I'm saying? I would do it as an Italian.
Well, let me ask you a question. You could do an Italian accent. You could do an Irish accent, right? A brogue. It's not making fun
I don't
of
do
them.
any accents well, good. But I have to tell you, that Chinese place was owned by a bunch of Jewish guys. Did you know that?
It was David.
There was not one Chinese kid working in that place when I walked in.
Hence,
the food was terrible. No. No, they were a sponsor of us for a while.
I think when people want Chinese food, they hope there's Chinese people.
You got to stick a Chinese kid at the register at least, right?
Yeah.
To fool us.
I don't know. But it's true, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to an Italian restaurant and have Chinese people making it?
I don't think it would work.
Right.
I don't think the concept would work. Maybe they were the best Italian food cookers, what do I say, chefs in the world. But people would walk in and get like, then they would taste it and they really wouldn't even authentically taste it. They would be like, it took them 30 seconds to come in.
Because I feel you're looking up at the screen and you want to say hello to the person, but you keep looking away.
Sponsored by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
Yes.
That's who we're sponsored by.
I'm talking about looking up at the screen and you see that someone's saying hello to you.
Who's saying hello to me?
We don't see it from here.
What screen?
Bill Coate.
Oh, we can't read it.
I can't see it from here.
Bill Conti?
Bill Coate.
C-O, yeah, he must have forgotten the N, maybe. I don't know.
If it's Bill that's in the nursing home, hey, Bill. How are you? We're going to have him on the show. He's a responder, a fellow first responder.
That's beautiful.
Shirts. I went to a wake today.
Yes.
So I have my new wake shirt. I'm a very casual wake dresser now.
Yeah, this would go.
That would go. That would be too dressy for me. I wear jeans, my black jeans. Okay, now I'm not talking about a close relative.
Right.
Black jeans, a nice pair of shoes. I don't wear my sneakers. And I have this purple shirt. It's little stripes. But if I tuck it in, I look a little chubby.
Right.
Okay? But if I don't tuck it in, it looks like a chubby guy who doesn't want to look chubby.
Right. So that's a dilemma.
It is, because my wife wants me to leave it untucked.
Right.
And then I want to leave it tucked. But every time I wear it tucked, what does she do? She walks over and she does this.
She gives you
the little pull out, like let it come out a little bit. Like that's going to make a big difference. Here's the best way to handle this. Hey, Alani. Here's the best way to handle this.
Alani Daniels, hello.
Hello, Alani.
And thank you for the compliment.
Yes. Was there a compliment?
She said you
both chubby?
Great.
Oh, here is my, here's the way I deal with it. I tuck it in and I approach everybody straight on. Like I'm in and out quick. I don't like anybody look at me.
No profile.
No from the side where they could tell I'm a little chubby. So if I'm coming in, shirt tucked straight in, I look awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. People give me compliments.
Tonight I gave you a compliment when you came in. I said, look at how clean shaven, your hair is done. And you go, well, I went to
a wake today.
A wake.
Bobby always says it looks like I rolled out of bed to come in here. That's not true. Looks like I came off the beach, maybe. I'm casual. Yeah. I have my shorts on underneath here.
A 3-day beach span. Let me say one thing. How are you at funerals? I'm very awkward. Like, I never know what to say. I went up to a grieving widow, and I said, thanks for having me. I had a really nice time. I had great seats. I sat right up front.
You said that to me? Thanks for the seats?
And then she's crying. I'm like, stop crying. You look beautiful in black.
So Rich Walker, to your next wake. Invite Rich Walker. He'll lighten up. Sit down. You got those pants on. No, I told you, I've been doing a lot of podcasts because we have PR lady. She's a PR lady. Tracy Harper, the best PR lady in the world. Yeah. And I was on some big show. I don't know the difference. It was a big, on some podcast out of LA, a few million viewers, a few 100,000 viewers, maybe it was 10,000. He had a few viewers. All right. And then I wanted to show him something, an axe that I had, and I got up forgetting I had on the freaking shorts. You know what I mean?
Humiliating.
It's me.
I had pants.
It's me. I also have the problem lately, and I have it tonight. Right now, I went to a wake today and everything. I still have my pool open in Long Island. My little pool. I got an above ground pool. I'm not fancy, but I have a pool heat pump which keeps the heat warm, and I let it run over. I am still going in my pool.
You are?
I am not close.
So what's wrong with that?
Because now I'm forgetting if I took a shower for 2-3 days because I'm doing the pool thing where you come out and you're like, oh, I was in the pool. That's good. But there's a certain amount of days where I think you need to take a shower, right?
Right. Sometimes the chlorine doesn't cut it.
You don't think?
No. You have to.
I should get salt water?
Can you get salt water in above ground?
Absolutely. That's the thing now.
Oh, really?
When I was in Kent, Ohio a few weeks ago, away, they had a salt pool in the hotel. It was delicious.
Yeah, it is. You could swallow it.
No, that's not what I mean. Here's the thing with me. I don't need fancy vacations, all right? I don't need all of that. If I can go in my pool and lay in the sun for 10 minutes, I feel like I'm away, and until my wife yells out the window, do something. Like she's at the point now, she doesn't give me tasks. She just wants me to do something.
Busy, keep busy.
Yeah, and usually like out of the house. You know, get out of it. Go do that stupid TV show, she says sometimes.
Right.
You know, I said, have you watched it? No, it's been 3 years. Have you watched an episode?
Oh,
look who's back.
Look at the time. Let's show some flyers.
Hey, that's pretty good. We'll show some flyers for some upcoming shows. The Laughter Saves Lives comedy tour. Here we go. Here's the big show we're pushing.
That looks
Rich
like
is not
fun.
on that one,
that
right?
Looks like a lot of fun.
This is at Govenours Comedy Club.
I was open.
How do you spell Govenours? I spelled it wrong.
Govern.
Not like, hello, Governor, right? Not like that.
Not ours.
October 26th. This is for 5 different charities. One of them, Laughter Saves Lives. Check them out. I'll give you one of them, General Needs. They buy basic stuff for homeless and needy veterans. Fight for Firefighters builds ramps for disabled firefighters and their families. It's going to be a great night. I want to pack the place. 250 people. Message me if you want to come. I got some free tickets. I'm going to charge people double to make up for the free tickets. It's going to be a great night. What else we got? Anything else? Any of the flyers?
Yeah, we do. Before, I hate to interrupt you. When I put up the flyers, why don't you guys move to the outside of the flyers? And it'll
I want
really
people
cool.
to look at the flyers, not the handsome
but
host.
you can have fun and
that
point
looks
to the
nice.
flyers.
That is good,
that
though.
looks professional.
All right,
Bobby.
All right, Bobby.
You know
Bobby the engineer, every once in a while, Butch comes on 20 times.
Why can't Butch tell us this?
He doesn't
Look
give
at
us
this.
a gem like Bobby just did.
We can leave the flyer up the whole show.
Let's just sit like this and bring our guests up behind the flyer.
Yeah.
All right,
You
next one, October 26th.
What else you got?
October 26th.
That's the only show you got with a flyer?
Oh, I got a lot.
We got 14 shows coming up.
Put the one with me on it.
November 5th.
Oh, I'm not doing that one.
No, what is that one? November 5th. That is yeah, check out that show. I don't know where that is. I can't read it.
Yeah.
Here's another
Here's
one.
another one I'm on.
Are you on that,
I
Rich?
am on
yes,
that
you're
one.
on that one.
Oh, holy smokes.
Go ahead. We can't read them. Hopefully the people at home can read them. It's very small for us. What else you got? Anything else?
Yeah, that's November 9th, no?
November
this
9th.
is
a show.
We got
I
a
can't
show
wait
coming
to
up
do.
in the freaking
Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh,
to
that
do-
show was canceled. Canceled.
Take it down.
Take it down.
I didn't like that.
Canceled.
One anyway,
Rich wasn't on it. We canceled
how
it.
about this
One more.
Oh,
This is
man.
going to be fun. This is I did as a crazy idea.
Right.
We're going to be in a furniture store, Raymore and Flanagan's. And we're going to be doing a show in the store during business hours.
Right.
We're going to move some
to
of the
annoy
couches.
the shoppers.
Yeah, it's going to be really a difficult show, a difficult audience. I'm going to come in, I'm going to say hello to the comics, and I'm going to leave because it's going to be a mess.
It's going to be a difficult show.
Yeah,
for John.
that's why Richie's on it. He can't handle it.
Last one.
All right.
That's November 18th.
And that's November 18th, and that's at Domenico's Restaurant.
Yep.
Fine Italian food, a beautiful dinner. Come on
Love
out.
it.
It's going to be a great show.
Chicken parm is outstanding.
All right. Let's move back in. Let's see the picture from the race. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other day I was walking at the beach. I was finishing my walk. Whole bunch of people start walking, and I realized it was the annual Brain Aneurysm Long Island Walk. I did some videos, but I couldn't transfer the videos in time. So two families I spoke to that I want to mention their loved one that was lost as another way to remember them. Brian McGeady, brave Atlanta Brave fan, a hardworking man, beautiful family man, and Peter Keegan, great guy, passed away 10 years ago. Loved his family, friends, living life to the fullest. His daughter and his wife were there. So those are two of the families I interviewed as I was walking with them. Right. Let's go to break. Oh, and this is the last thing. Today, so proud of my daughter, Narcan Kit. Here we were trained today, my wife and I. She works for Central Nassau Guidance and Counseling Service, where they take care of people who are recovering from psychiatric and addiction.
Right.
Oh, I can't even see myself in here. So Christina was there today, my beautiful daughter. So proud of her, a psychiatric nurse. How come you're on my side? How did you get there? So let's go to commercial, and we'll be back with Dino Miliotis.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
And we're back to Laughter Saves Lives live here on Strong Island Television. I just wanted to thank, we haven't thanked him in a while. First of all, I want to thank Butch for always doing such a great job putting the show together. Butch hasn't been even feeling that good, and he's been really going above and beyond. Applause for Butch. I don't think we got an applause today, but Butch got it, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, Butch. Thank you, Michael Barasch, our big sponsor, big sponsor. He He takes care of so many different organizations, donates money. He always comes to our shows, brings the office, buys shirts. Thank you, Michael Barasch. This Sunday is the Towers to Tunnel race. They do wonderful work for veterans, build houses for disabled veterans.
Incredible.
Johnny L is signed up under the Tom Gardner team. So if you want to join me Sunday, sign up under the Gardner team. Team Gardner. Me and Olivia Larocchia will be on that team. Livy's coming back from Bing. She doesn't realize she's getting up at 5 in the morning. All right, our first guest. He is the founder of Live Life Without Limits. For over 40 years, a serial entrepreneur, author, philanthropist.
Founder of Live Life
Without Limits magazine.
Right.
Has been the driving force in business. He's been featured on Oprah, Ford's, Entrepreneur, People Magazine, Laughter Saves Lives.
Right.
As a recovering addict, Miliotis documents his life's journey and road to recovery. Please, a nice warm welcome for Dino Miliotis. Dino, how are you, Dino?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
We love having you. I was reading in here, and I don't mean to put you on the spot right away, that you were a billionaire or whatever. I think if that's the case, you are our highest earner since, who did we have on the show? That guy that sold that antique car for $15,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's up there.
We had a guy who made $210,000. So
you know how like you have the upper 1%? I'm at the bottom 1%.
Yeah, Richie's at the bottom.
The 1%.
You don't believe this. You are at the top 1%. Globally, I think you would be top 1%. Hello, Dino. So tell us your story. Tell us, where did you grow up, and what did you want to do as a kid, and how did you get into all of this wonderful stuff?
Wow. Grew up in Chicago. Since 7, I think all I wanted to do was be rich. That was just stuck in my head. I didn't know what that meant, but my dad put it in my head, so I believed it, And I hit a couple homers in my life, but a lot more failures as well.
Right.
But isn't that the case with anybody who has a lot of money?
Fail.
I think it is, absolutely. I mean, you remember what it feels like to fail. When you make it, It feels good and everything, but really, it's what you do when you're down that matters.
You only have so much time, so I don't want to talk too much. But
Sure.
I feel like when I get up now listen, I don't have a lot of money, have a billfolder like this, retired fireman, have my pension. I'm a happy man. My grandchildren live up the block. I'm a happy man, okay? What I love, I'm working on a few different things. If you could get up every morning and have something to look forward to, because you see people who have jobs and are miserable going to work. Not that I wouldn't want to have a lot of money. I would. But I think that's also a wonderful feeling to be able to get up in the morning and go, man, I don't know what's going to happen today. Let's try to make something happen. What do you think?
It is. And actually it's a rush. Look, money's just a number. For 40 years, I was chasing those riches and I got them. And you know what? Guess what? When I had them, you can't buy any more cars. You can't buy any more homes, jets. It's meaningless.
Right.
There's a hole in your heart, right? In your soul.
Right.
And, I was addicted to drugs and alcohol for 20 years. I was a functioning alcoholic. But at the end, it got the best of me like it does everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming out of it, I wanted to do something different. Okay. Been there, done that. There's a reason there was a hole, because what I was doing was just self-serving. It wasn't rewarding.
Right. It's not giving back.
Well, bingo. So here's the thing. I mean, now more than ever, people need hope. I feel it. I mean, you could blame it on COVID. This was pre-COVID. This is post-COVID, but people need hope. Mm-hmm. You see the divisive nature of things these days. You watch the news, you hear all these bad horror stories and stuff. And remember, you'll start to believe what you continue to hear, good or bad. And what I felt was that I wanted to show that there is more good in the world still than bad.
I agree.
People are lost. There's millions and millions of people are lost. And this is not just recovery from drugs and alcohol, by the way, but after writing the book, I discovered it's a lot more. You're talking about mental illness. You're talking about depression. You're talking about suicide. You're talking about anxiety, all these immeasurable things. And people started reaching out to me personally. And, as you could tell, I really don't sleep much, but this is the most rewarding time of my life.
Right.
Really.
I always say that you only have so much time, right? You can donate we donate money. We send $15 here, $50 there. Maybe not the kind of money you donate, right? But it's still, you only have a certain amount. But when you go out and you use your time, because you only have so much of that. We do the veteran shows. We haven't done it much during COVID. We just did one in the parking lot at the hospital a month ago. When the comics walk away from that show, they're like, wow, that felt really good. To have a veteran wheeling out from the hospital in a wheelchair, in a sweater in the heat, and looking at you and going, hey, you're my day. This is all I got going on today, It's a great feeling.
It's beautiful. It's actually priceless, So the book touched on...
There is no box.
There you go. I brought my own prop. There you go.
Great.
Yeah, if we were professional, we would have had one here too, Dino. I think Alani's writing to me already. I sent you a book.
The book touched on, just in this country, right? The recovery community is 30 million. That does not count depression and anxiety and the suicides and stuff. I mean, so it's a lot bigger than you think. Now multiply that globally. It's insane, right?
Right.
But I wanted to write my life story. I can only be an expert on mine. And I've been punched and kicked so much in my life. You don't realize it at the time because honestly, I was driven by, it was like out of desperation. I wanted to feed my family. I mean, I wasn't always wealthy. I was rock bottom. I was selling furniture that I needed. Let's put it that way, right?
Right.
So there is no box was just the beginning. And then what I wanted to do is I wanted to show people, hey, it's not just me. There's a lot of people doing incredible things. So Life Without Limits magazine is where ordinary meets extraordinary. And it's really the special part of the magazine is the impact point. When you start doing something greater than yourself, and there's all these people that we're exposing that are just doing just phenomenal things. And I'm really excited about that because we're spreading hope in the world.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it last week, but I was remote last week. I didn't come into the studio because I had just driven back from Kent, Ohio, where I was kind of on a mission to go out there and work with this young firefighter who grew up with nothing, single parent, and he started a foundation to give back to children like he never had that attention.
Wow.
Sports, whatever. And one of the things they're doing, and I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but they're buying coats and shoes for kids this winter who would not be able to afford them. And we went out there. We were partially sponsoring the show. We're going to be able to buy 94 shoes and 94 coats for kids who would not have it. Now, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you break down 94 kids who wouldn't have them, I was very impressed by these two guys. And it was an honor to be there with them and do this. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. People like that who are giving back.
Even a little.
Yes.
But it adds up.
Oh, it does.
A lot of people
Absolutely.
do it.
That's the way you change the world, one person at a time.
Right.
It's the little. It's planting a seed. Look, I don't like cure people when I see them, right? But if you can help just one person that day, but more importantly, plant seeds in people. They may not get that seed to grow for years from now, but they'll remember you. They'll remember you. Be a mentor. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. There is no box. That is your memoir?
That's my,
Where did you get the title from?
One of my mentors, when I was complaining about how people are in politics and business, right?
Yeah.
He said, but don't you understand, Dino? There is no box in your world. And I was like, you know what? That's a pretty good one. So I'm in honor of my mentor. I put the title on my memoir.
That's great.
And so it recaps. I mean, it's a fast read. but it's a true account of what took place in my life. I invented a product.
John, yeah. Does it have a lot of big pictures?
Yeah, I need a picture book. Does it have a lot of big pictures?
And he likes those pop-up.
No, it has big letters though, because like you guys, I can't really see that well.
Hey,
but
you know what's funny? Alani just put a notice up. I already sent you the book. I was kidding. She's like I said, she's good.
Oh man, she's on it. What would I do without her?
I don't know. I want to recognize, Butch helps me. Amy Solomon, who's in Brooklyn, she works a full-time job. On her lunch, she makes calls for me when she comes home at night after taking a. She's wonderful. So I want to recognize our Amy Solomon for all the help she gives Laughter.
I want to just say to you guys what a special thing you guys are doing. There's healing power in laughter.
Yeah.
And I know you guys joke and everything, and it's beautiful what you're doing, but it's amazing how you guys are helping so many people.
There was a show recently where Richie went up as a comic, and there was a few people in the audience who weren't feeling well, and they said they didn't feel any better because Richie didn't get one laugh. So the next comic healed them, but Richie was struggling.
Well, hey, what are you gonna do?
One of us felt good. Me or the audience.
So, give one of the gadgets what did you develop? I found it very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Some of the things that you made all this money on, and then didn't work out well in the end.
So 25 years ago, last July, was when I invented Bug Ban, which was that insect repelling bracelet.
Yeah.
That had all natural ingredients in it. And it was a concept.
Right.
And it just went like wildfire. In 18 months, I was in 63 countries. I sold 33 million.
Wow. Crazy.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, seriously, you want to talk about like overnight.
Yeah,
but it worked. It was way like overnight. I'm in People magazine. I'm invited to Oprah's show. I mean, it was surreal, right? But with that comes a huge weight, right? You're supposed to be invincible, and you're supposed to know how to, do interviews and the pressure.
Right. And you're thrown into a whole nother world.
And so you take to whatever makes you feel good. For me, it was a bottle. And it started from there, really.
Yeah.
But bottle or not, after Bug Ban, I was one of the pioneers for outsourced payroll that we know today. Yeah. But when I was part of it, it wasn't so widely accepted as something to use. I mean, everybody was like, payroll, me give you the payroll, get away from me,
Yeah.
Right. It was so I had to figure out to change my delivery, right? The product was good. The service was great. It's just I had to change the approach. And what I found was that brokers who sold them other things like copy machines and paper and pencils, they had rapport with them for years. So I invoked these brokers to also sell them payroll services.
Right.
Next thing you know, pretty much it's being used everywhere in the world right now.
What was the competition? Can I ask you for that company? Was it like ADP and companies like that?
Something like that. I mean, it was around the same time. But, when you're doing these things, at least for me, I never looked at competition that way. I mean,
you put those blinders on and went straight.
Yeah, I mean, you see a McDonald's, right? You're not going to open up a Burger King on the corner because there's a McDonald's. I mean, so what? Who cares? Right. But, I'm really glad I did what I did. I was really fortunate and blessed. But, you're talking to a guy that is a college dropout that learned by doing, didn't read textbooks and theory. I mean, I actually tried stuff before I even knew, right? And I learned that way. So you're talking to a guy who never wore a helmet. So my crashes hurt.
Wow. Yeah.
But you were brave. See, I'm too. I was always said I should have invested in this. I should have did that. I'm chicken. If I lose all this money, my family. But I got to throw something else. You mentioned Oprah. You're throwing some big names out there. 2 weeks ago, I was on the Joe Bruno podcast out of Staten Island, which has about 1,000 followers. So sometimes I'll throw around a name or two. Dino,
I got to ask one thing real quick. You said something. You said that you dropped out of college.
Yeah.
Some of the most successful people in the world all dropped out of college. If I could get my daughter now to drop out, I mean,
Are you serious?
I'd save.
I always told my daughter, just drive a truck. Get another friend, drive a truck across the country. Save me that money.
Go into plumbing, right?
But she wants to save the planet. She's an environmentalist. She'll be graduating soon. My other daughter's a psych nurse.
Making
very proud of them.
money.
Dino, we have just another minute left. What do you want to plug? Where can people find you?
Life Without Limits magazine. The site is LWL Mag, like magazine. So
they can subscribe.
LWLMAG.com. And you can see our first and second issue. It's a brand new magazine, and we're already making waves. Wait till you see issue 3. It's just
all right.
All right.
We'll take a look.
And don't forget his book. There is no box.
There is no box.
You can purchase that where?
You can get it at Amazon, also Books A Million, and actually just today, Barnes and Noble.
Whoa!
And you can also get a copy for $10 at my house. Alani sending me book. So I'll have that one to sell. Dino, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Success.
Yes, I'll definitely be in touch. We'll have you back.
You got it.
Dino Miliotis. Wow, that's some story.
Isn't it
That
great?
is some story. I love people like that. You know, I never had the colognes.
I said to my wife, I go, why can't I be that successful? And she says, well, you have to get out of bed before 3.
See, you see what the demands they put on us. Our next guest, I'm assuming we're not going to break. So
we are going to break. We are going to break.
I had a 50-50 chance of being right there. All right, we're going to go to break, and we'll be back with Ann Kansfield.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Rossi.
And I'm Arthur Lee, the creator of LifeVac.
We're here today to announce that to date, LifeVac has saved hundreds of lives of people who almost died due to choking.
People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those lives is a child. That's why I created LifeVac.
And as a new mom, and from housewife to housewife, I felt compelled to share with you the discovery of this life-saving device.
LifeVac is a simple-to-use airway clearance device. Just place, push, and pull to save a life.
And it costs less than it would take to fill up your car with a tank of gas. Imagine being able to save a life for less than $70.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
That's LIFEVAC.net.
Please don't allow one of your loved ones to become the victim of a choking accident.
And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives live. Dino Miliotis, what a great guest. And this is a back-to-back night. A Maris Babe Ruth.
A staple.
A two heavy hitters. Our next guest is one of our favorites. She's been back a few times because she keeps calling us and we can't say no. No, she doesn't call us. We call her. She's the wonderful, she's an FDNY chaplain, Ann Kansfield. Ann Kansfield.
Yeah.
Now, Ann, I printed out a nice intro for you, and I grabbed the wrong paper, the unfinished one. Tell us about, you're not only the FDNY chaplain, but you are in a church in Brooklyn, yes?
Yes, I am.
Tell me, what's the name of that church?
The Greenpoint Reformed Church. It's a church that's duly affiliated with the Reformed Church and the United Church of Christ. And in general, I would just say it's a Protestant church.
And we can find you every Sunday on Zoom, yes?
Yes.
What time?
11 a.m.
And you're doing the service so we can click in on Zoom and get motivated.
Yes, or you could come in person, either way.
Now, here's what I want Go ahead. Okay. Here's what I wanted to suggest to you before we ask you a few questions. I think it would be wonderful because we love you so much and you love us. I feel the love always coming back. Wouldn't it be cool on one of your days you're giving out meals? Because one day you take meals to go.
Yeah, we do meals and we do groceries.
Whoa.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a Laughter Saves Lives sponsored day where we give you some cashola, right? and we go and give out the meal with you guys. Maybe make somebody laugh a little bit.
I think it would be fun. Let's do it.
We're going to do it.
Now,
Dad, you want to ask her a question?
Do you find, or do people tell you, because I've interviewed you twice, I think already, that they're coming back to the church even because of you and how hip you are?
Yeah,
you're a new face.
Yes, you're awesome
in the church.
Yes.
Do you ever hear that or no?
I mean, I feel like I could find some really good jokes, like a face that looks like the EMS chief, Monsignor, because we kind of look alike. I mean, it's yes. I mean,
come on,
there are not a lot of clergy people who look kind of like me.
Before we were on camera, before you're using hip lingo that my daughter
was using hip lingo.
You said. Yeah, you had hip lingo. You were saying,
"Wow, that is why I need to hang around you guys. You think I am hip?
We're old,
no,
and farting.
Are you going to be at the Tunnel to Tower Sunday? By the way,
so I am not, but I am so proud to say my wife is, and she's really worried about embarrassing me. I'm like, you can't embarrass me, honey. She's like, I'm such a slow runner. She's just gotten back into running. She's been going to the gym, Orange Theory Fitness. I think it's a cult. Like, she just goes all the time to the gym.
I would love to meet her. I would
She's
love
going to be there. But the best part of her signing up to do this was apparently when you go and sign up to do Tunnels to Towers, it asks you if you have a connection to, I think, the fire department. And she wrote, "My wife is an FDNY chaplain." And then she texted me and she's like, "I'm the only person in the world who can say that."
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know you've been on the show a lot of times, a bunch of times.
I'm so glad you found that funny. I found it really funny.
I think it's funny.
Really funny too. So would you please go on? So I have to do church on Sunday.
All right.
Right. That's where I'm going to be. She's going to be there. I'll send you photos. You can Google her. Jennifer All, not the one who works at Hofstra University.
Okay.
There's another woman, same name. It happened in the 1970s.
I'd like to meet both of them.
But find her and tell her that her outfit looks amazing.
Okay.
Do you know what else? Do you know what else our lovely chaplain does?
Yes. That's her book. That's her book. She's an
it was in the bargain bin for like 2 or 3 days, and then over at Amazon, and then a bunch of people bought it because I'm cheap, and I suggested like, "Hey, now
you want to hear something funny?
Can you believe that we moved the market, and now it's not so cheap anymore?"
You were just joking about it. There was a comic that I know wrote a book, and at the dining, he goes, "What should I put on the cover?"
Right.
And I said, "A 99-cent sticker."
I got to tell you, I had a procedure done yesterday, so I was in.
He has a rash
all day, and I'm about halfway through. It is unbelievable.
Wow!
Did you get to the section about Keanu Reeves and the poop?
What's that?
Did you get to the Keanu Reeves poop section?
I did not.
Wow!
I did not.
Now, do I know how to do a teaser or
yes,
what?
That's very religious.
Inspirational.
Very inspirational.
I want to know.
It's just a great book. It makes you feel really good.
Right. Thanks, Butch.
Because he has.
I'm really glad to know it made you feel good, Butch.
I was trying to say before, and you've been on a few times. We love having you. And I know because when I said to Richie, Ann's coming on again, he went,
never,
which I thought was inappropriate, but we. All right. So you went on a trip recently overseas, yes?
Well, this has been the summer of trips. I got to go to Germany and I got to go to Israel. We talked about the Israel trip before.
Right.
And then recently I got to go to Colorado for a destination wedding I officiated.
How was it? I went to a wedding in Colorado.
Listen, I want to get remarried in Colorado. It was so beautiful.
Beautiful, right?
I would like to be invited.
All your listeners should get married in Colorado and call me and I'll go out and do it. Breckenridge, it's amazing.
You didn't it wasn't in a barn, was it? I went to a barn wedding. It was like unbelievable.
It really wasn't a wedding. It was just some farm animals.
This was on a mountain
Did you go up?
We had to take the ski lift up, and of course, like I'm not a big fan of heights.
Neither am I.
Says I have a fear of falling, not a fear of heights.
Right.
I don't like falling.
Right.
But you know, we're in the thing, and I'm with some guy, and he's like, "Wasn't there just like a cable car disaster that happened?"
Don't you love
like, guys? Stop. You know?
Stop.
But it was totally.
All right, get a little serious for a second. I had a rough 9/11 this year. I did something very simple, which turned out to be very rewarding. I found that this year was one of my hardest ever. And I'm sure you find out when you talk to people that it should be getting a little better. People would think, and it's not. What kind of advice do you give people like that? Is there something that I can take away and say, okay, you know, it's gonna be okay? How should I handle that day next year?
Wow.
You know, I like to remind myself that that September 12th does follow September 11th. And I think that there's you can do big things if you just count to 10 and keep going.
Right.
Count to 10 and keep going. And eventually the day will be over. One of the things that I appreciate a lot about that day is the fact that there are a whole bunch of I can choose to spend it with a whole bunch of people who, similarly to me, just want the day to be over.
Yeah, that's what I hope this year.
And together, we can actually make some healthier choices. You know, not get ripped. I actually did not drink at all this year, which was kind of surprising to me. And instead, I found a young seminarian who had just gotten out of the military, and I took him down to the band playing at Ten House. Which was great. It was really meaningful for me to share it with somebody younger who also had meaning, who the day also had meaning for.
Right.
But who I didn't really know well. So I was kind of on my best behavior in terms of not making poor choices.
Right. I've been to a party with you, so I know what you're referring to.
I can make some poor choices, but but not the poor choice of being the straight comic at the LGBT party. That was a rough choice, my friend.
you were struggling that night to behave. You were wonderful. We have about a minute left. What do you want to share with our viewers? Is there anything?
Well, I started by showing you. Look at this cute little. It's a Father Michael Judge, Tiny Saints.
Wow.
And who's Father Michael Judge, if they don't know?
Father Michael Judge was such a quality chaplain who served the fire department with so much heart and love, and died on 9/11.
He was victim number one, right, on 9/11.
And I think. Honestly, the more I reflect on it, I don't think he would have had it any other way. And what an incredible legacy to leave behind, because I think for so many people.
How do people get them?
So tinysaints.com.
Oh, really?
Yes. So tinysaints.com, they special made them. And if you see me, I wrote to the company and I was like, these are so meaningful. I'd like to buy a bunch in bulk. And they gave them to me to give out to the live show.
You think I can take those after the Laughter Saves Lives shows for the foundation? Would that be appropriate or not?
Exactly. Or your Laughter Saves Lives giving out food at the soup kitchen. I'll have some then.
All right. We got to go. You are awesome. I know you're so busy. Our viewers don't know how busy you are. So for you to take the time to always be with us, you're one of our favorite guests.
Oh, thank you very, very much. You're one of my favorite guys.
Oh, wow.
What a team. What a team. And I'm going to try to hook up to meet your wife on Sunday and say hello and give her a hug. I'd love to meet her.
And her outfit looks amazing.
Got you. I will remember.
Whoa.
And she's the best wife of, you can actually say that now.
Stay away from her.
She's the best wife of a fire chaplain ever.
I will say, Ann said to say, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I appreciate all the effort you put in.
Love you. Love you, Ann. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Ann Kansfield, FDNY Chaplain, and the rest of her intro from her church in Brooklyn, I didn't write down.
She's delightful.
Delightful is a good word.
Yeah.
If somebody would meet you, what would the word be? I just met Rich Walker. He is
annoying.
No, I wouldn't think annoying. Yeah. I would think they would say,
how handsome.
How handsome.
Probably.
Now, for you, the other night I ran it was like an audition comedy night, a small benefit for Laughter Saves Lives.
Right.
Richie and I have been on these shows. We had like only 8 audience members show up. But people don't understand comics. If you have 8 members, we're going to do our show. It's like it's 300 people.
Matter, right?
And one of the comics I had on was the lovely Courtney Ortera. And I figured, let's have Courtney on tonight to give us some yucks.
Did she ever do this show?
She did this show before. Is Courtney in the waiting room?
I think I was on that show.
All right,
let's turn on your video.
She is in the waiting room. Oh, there she is. Go ahead and bring her up, Bobby.
Let's hear her. Let's go.
Yes. Oh, so our next guest is a comic. She works some of the clubs in Long Island.
And a graduate of Stand-Up University.
My
school.
Courtney Ortera, Rich's school. Very nice. Hey, Courtney.
Oh, so good to see you two again.
It's just us. You thought it was a different show?
No. Oh my God. But, wow. Ann and Dino are both like amazing people and published authors.
They're rock stars.
Imposter syndrome right now, like that.
Yeah, Richie was saying, why did you have on Courtney? That's not appropriate.
I never said that.
Oh, he never said.
Courtney, you are knocking it dead out there.
You are all
killing it.
Now let me tell you
There's
about
not
Courtney's
a flyer. I don't see her on.
I know.
More than
most
me.
of them, she just puts a face on them. She's not even on the show.
Just to bring in people.
But Courtney the other night, she was very funny. She's very likable. You know the deal. But some of her friends in the audience were making her laugh. And I've never seen a comic laugh so uncontrollably at her own jokes.
Yeah.
That I said to her afterwards, "Are these the first time you heard your joke?" She was enjoying herself so much.
And that's how you have to perform.
And I loved her. She was great.
Yeah, it's because a lot of my like close friends like came to my show that night, and like I have this one friend Dan, and like whenever he comes to my shows, I have to try to not look at him too much because like he laughs so much, and then like he just makes me laugh because like some of my jokes, they're inspired by inside jokes and real experiences. Right. And I'll just look at him and I'm like, oh my God, like I can't, like I'll start laughing.
Well, you were very, very likable, great stage presence, funny. Tell us something. Can you give us some of the bits that you talk about on stage?
Yeah, of course.
What do you got?
So I'm a really terrible driver, and but I have tricks for getting out of tickets. And the other day I got pulled over and the cop came up to my car and he was like, "Did you know that you were driving on the wrong side of the road?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was the wrong side." And he kind of just stared at me for a while, and then he was like, "All right, I'll give you a warning."
Very funny.
What's like strange is like some people still trust me to drive them places. Like a lot of my comedian friends ask me for rides after shows because I don't drink. And I'm not sure if they assume I don't drink because I'm 20 or because they know I'm pregnant. I'm kidding, I'm not pregnant. And yeah, this summer, actually, my dad said that I should look for a job for some reason. But I'm not really good at job interviews. Like I had one the other day and I walk into the room and the guy interviewing me comes up to me and he was like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Bush." And I said, "Hi, Kevin Bush. I'm Courtney Grass." And I got kicked out.
How does it feel to have a comic that was in your school whose dad is probably younger than you? How old is your father?
My dad is 51.
I'm 63. Are you over 51, Richie?
I am. But you know what? I'm a very young 53.
Yeah, that's what.
Same thing.
I really like your writing. Is there any way you could work with John and maybe guide him?
Oh my God, I thought you were going to say work with John for him to help me. I'm like, I think
he can help each other.
The other way around.
And that's the key to a good comedian. Always listen to what people say. You don't have to use it. If Courtney would give me some advice on a point, like what she said to me the other night, I said I was emceeing. She said, "Is there any way you could just sit on the side and eat a hamburger?"
Right.
Like, don't even get on stage.
And the good thing, well, you know what it is? I'm gonna say don't, because like you won't use it. Like you won't, like he is. Let me tell you, he's an inspirational comic.
Constipational comic.
No, inspirational.
Inspiration.
When people sitting in the audience are like, you know, if he could do it, I could do it.
And now that motivates people. What else you got? What else you got? What else you want to talk about?
Tell us something.
Let's see. Do you guys want jokes or do you guys want like stories?
We want funny. Whatever you can do to make us laugh.
You can make us laugh.
All right.
Let me ask you a question without material. What incidences did you walk into as a comedian that struck you funny, or an interesting night, or predicament, or something?
Oh, there are a lot of those. But one that just came off the top of my head right now was one time I was hosting at the Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And
upstairs or downstairs?
This was the upstairs one, and there was this comic, John Campanelli, and I've never heard of this guy, but like everyone at the show was like, you know, saying, "Oh my God, John Campanelli's here," and I was like, "Oh, he must be like big."
And
then he performs, and then he gets off stage, and he looks like this character from a TV show called iCarly. And so I was on stage, and I said, "Wow, John really looks like Spencer from iCarly." And then I get off stage, and he comes up to me, he's like, "That's so funny you said that. Because I used to date Miranda Cosgrove, who was like the star of that show." And I was like, "Really?" And he showed me like his texts with her and stuff. And then like I was like, okay, I got to go to Instagram and like, you know, see if she follows him to see if this is real. And she does. I was like, that is insane. I was texting like, oh my
very
God.
similar story. I used to date iCarly's grandma.
Wait, actually?
No.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
He just showed you his range.
Do you see my comedy abilities when the audience goes, "Whoa, really?"
Yeah, I'm very gullible though. I can't say that. One time I was doing do you know the podcast that Tony Walker does at Govenours?
Yes.
One time I was doing that podcast with Dan Larocchia, and like he said, you know, they always ask us at the end, like, "Oh, what gigs do you guys have coming up?" And he was like, "Well, I'm opening for Chris DiStefano," and I got so excited, but he was like just joking. Like, I believe anything.
Didn't he pass away?
No.
Chris DiStefano? No, he's like young.
Give us another one of your bits, because you had some funny stuff the other night. Give us one more.
Okay. So last year I was on vacation in the British Virgin Islands with my family, and we were just in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, and it was just us. And all of a sudden I saw a glass bottle with a note inside floating in the water. And I got so excited because I've always wanted to find one of these. I thought I was going to be on the news. So I'm swimming towards it, and I take the note out, and it has one sentence. It says, "I'm here to contact you about your car's extended warranty." I'll find you.
Great. They know how to get in. They fool you, right?
Yeah, they do. That's a true story too.
That's great.
So where do you get your most of your inspiration from? You're young, like, you know, I'm 63. Richie is 60, and we've been around the block, kids. And where does most of your material come from that you're passionate about?
Actually, a lot of it, and I learned this in Stand Up University. One of our first classes, Rich and Peter had us write down our pet peeves, and then we turn them into jokes. So a lot of my jokes actually come from pet peeves, and then just random stories from my life, to be honest.
I was told the first night in Stand Up University is writing out a check.
Oh yeah, I forgot you guys mentioned that. You guys said something about a check.
It says take out a checkbook, write out a check. No. Give us one bit. Richie,
they could go Venmo or PayPal now.
Yeah, did Richie give you a good punchline? I mean, you know, you paid a few thousand.
Yeah, anything that I wrote in your act that you think you still use, or you dropped it all?
Yeah, dropped it all.
I use a lot that we wrote in Stand Up University. One is like the Rachel Bradley jokes. I still use them.
Do it.
Like motoring. Oh yeah. So should I do both or should I do just one?
Yeah,
well, we got a minute left. We got a minute.
Well, go ahead. Go out with a bang. Give us both.
Okay. So my friend Rachel, she's an actress, but she takes this acting thing too seriously. Like the other day I asked her, you know, "Rachel, why is your Instagram username the official Rachel Bradley? You're not famous." And she was like, "Well, I was actually in a major motion picture. You should look it up." And I did. And it actually turns out she was in this movie. Rachel Bradley played the official pedestrian number 27. And last weekend, you know, Rachel had an anniversary party for her and her boyfriend Todd. And it was a lot of fun. Like, they had a tent in the backyard, catered food to the house, hired a DJ. But I did think it was a bit over the top for a 2-week anniversary. So I asked her, you know, Rachel, what are you planning for your 3-week anniversary? She said, Todd's taking me to dinner, and then we're going to a really fancy hotel called the Comac Motor Inn.
Courtney, are you finished with that bit?
Yes, that's all.
Perfect timing.
You know her?
Oh yeah, I took that out for time.
Okay, good.
Courtney Otero.
Great job.
Thank you, Courtney. That's not easy to do. We had Dino Miliotis, Ann Kansfield, Rich Walker, Butch Seltzer throwing it all together. We'll see you next week on Laughter Saves Lives. Lives.
Leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball. Play ball.